all the sensations that we feel and how we process them is basically to improve our arousal and alertness. It just becomes a little heightened in children who have sensory issues, maybe falling under the autism spectrum disorder or having hyperactivity in general. All of these problems simply help to provide an input to the body. That's exactly what those kids are asking for, just in a slightly higher quantity. The systems that usually get affected because of this are tactile, that is touch, vestibular, movement, proprioception, how our joints get positioned, visual, auditory, olfactory, and oral. So these 7 systems can get disturbed in these children. Some of these sensations might be heightened, while some of them might be so low that they seek it, they want it to maintain that optimal arousal. Think for a second if you don't get to see for a whole day, or there is a cloth tied around your eyes and you are supposed to see through it. It is slightly translucent, but then you have to manage it. You will try to bring things close to your eyes in order to appreciate them. Just give it a try. It's really difficult. These set of problems don't only affect the concentration and attention, but also our social skills in terms of sharing, communication, both verbal and non-verbal, and also independence in our daily activities. So in order to provide the sensory diet to a child, there are some prerequisites for it. When to give the sensory diet? Firstly, we need to understand how sensations are working in the body of such a child or even an adult, planning the tasks to meet these new requirements. Attention has to be given to the set task without any distraction, so distractions need to be removed. The comprehension of the sequence of the task is important. How is it sequenced? What steps need to be taken? Thinking and imagination on the part of the person who provides the sensory diet. In case it's not working in the same way, some modification or change needs to be done. And finally, the child has to be compliant in order to do this. If a child says, I'm on a sensory diet, we need to know which children fall under this category. So, when to give the sensory diet to a child? If the child has difficulty in settling down during an activity and concentrating, the child appears a bit lethargic or lazy, which is actually a sensory deprivation that the child has and needs that heightened sense. Impulsive children, children who have problems with communication, the child appears a bit restless, has some kind of phobia or extreme fears or of even simple things. Child who gets involved a lot in rough play. Inappropriate social behavior is displayed, which can also go to showing aggression towards others and difficulties with sleep. The primary thing that is related to any kind of sensory diet is you have to make it fun, you have to make it enjoyable for the child rather than forcing them to do something. As I said, child compliance is very important. So for that, you need to understand what should be the frequency of giving the sensory diet to the child. You have to get it just right, not too much, but also not too less. Secondly, the duration and the intensity of the sensory diet. For how long it needs to be given, is it 10 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour, and how intense it has to be. Will you be able to get your child to concentrate after that or not? It matters, so it has to fit the child. The timing also matters. You need to understand what time of the day is your child most affected. Like, is it before going to school, as soon as the child wakes up, before going down to sleep, in the evenings? All of this matters because it will determine at what time the sensory diet needs to be given. Like that we only eat when we are hungry, not just any time of the day. Very important. Record, because the sensory diet activities are not standardized. It's a diet that is tailored to the specific needs of the child. So what works and what does not work. Also, what works on one day may not work the other day. So that has to be recorded, and for how long it helped the child. The next question that we can think of is, how do we know what are the specific needs of the child? It is important to get a specific sensory assessment of the child, which is usually done by an occupational therapist. This sensory assessment involves tests like sensory profiles, or they can be tests like sensory integration and practice test. Try to take this sensory diet from the therapist you are attending. Don't take it from other parents. That's not going to help your specific child. Just like you don't take the same diet as other people do. You have your own specific ways of eating or things that you really enjoy eating. You cannot just copy them from the others. Sensory diet follows the same rule. After you've heard me talk so much about sensory diet, it's also important to know, why should we take it? How is it going to really help? Alertness, arousal, yeah, we heard all of that. It has to help in multi-context functioning. In different environments, the child should be able to function. Home, therapy session, classroom, or any other social situation the child is brought in. So it's like it should come like a natural instinct to the child. Then it also helps in improving readiness for the school, helps in improving the self-esteem of the child, and a regulation, a self-regulation on the part of the child. So you don't have to cater to it all the time. The child will know what to do. By 7 years of age, the sensory development is at a very good level. So by the time the child reaches there, the progress is going to be slow after that. So it's better to understand the sensory needs of the child beforehand, and that's why early intervention is recommended. As soon as you feel there is something not quite right, it's better to see the correct doctor or go to a pediatrician and take the recommendation for an occupational therapy assessment at least. There's no harm in that. And if you find some difficulty with the child in relation to the sensory integration or the sensory needs, at least it will be taken care of at the right time. You delay the medicine, it always takes time to come out of that ailment or illness. The same thing goes for the sensory needs also. And try to apply it to your own life also. Give time to yourself. So when we say exercise or do certain things regularly, meditation, yoga, all of this is like gaining sensory experience from the environment. Sensory diet benefits everyone. If you like the video, leave a like, share the video, subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon for notifications, and leave a comment about your views on this video or any other video suggestions. So we will meet again. Bye.